Imagine building something so powerful, so important, that you believe the only way to ensure its strength is by sacrificing a human life. A practice so ancient, so deeply rooted in human history, that it spans continents and civilizations. The horrific ritual of foundation sacrifices. This isn't a story for the faint-hearted, it's a dark journey through human history where buildings were literally founded on human blood. A practice that continued far longer than you might imagine, existing from the Roman Empire to the Balkans, from Great Britain to India and Japan, and I'm sure even further, or closer than any North American academics would ever admit to, if you catch my drift. The core belief was terrifyingly simple. To create a structure that would stand strong, you must appease the spirits of the land by offering a human life. These sacrifices weren't just killed, they were transformed, become guardians, permanently bound to the very walls that became their tomb. The methods were as creative as they were cruel. Sometimes victims were locked in coffin-like boxes. Other times, they were sealed directly into walls or foundations. In some cases, they were buried alive beneath key supporting pillars or murdered by having massive foundation stones placed on top of them. Let me tell you about the Roman Vestal virgins, a particularly chilling example. These were girls from wealthy Roman families, chosen for their physical and mental perfection. They took strict vows of chastity, dedicating their lives to maintaining a sacred fire for Vesta, the goddess of home and family. But breaking that vow, the punishment was beyond brutal, because Roman law forbade spilling a Vestal's blood or burying anyone within city limits. They developed a method of execution that was both inventive and horrifying. The condemned Vestal would be stripped, beaten, dressed in funeral clothing, then locked in an underground chamber or cave. With only a small supply of food, water, and perhaps a candle, she would be left to her fate. The Middle Ages weren't any better. The Catholic Church imposed similar punishments on monks and nuns who broke their vows or were accused of heretical beliefs. One of the most haunting stories comes from Albania, the legend of Rozafa Castle. 3 brothers were building a mighty fortress, but every night at midnight the stones would mysteriously tumble down. An old man revealed why. The castle's spirit demanded a human life. The brothers made a grim pact. Whichever of their wives arrived first with lunch would be sacrificed, walled up in the castle's stones. They swore not to warn their wives, leaving it to fate. But the 2 elder brothers whispered the plan to their wives. Only the youngest remained silent. When Rozafa arrived, she was seized and walled up, but with one compassionate exception. They left a small gap so she could nurse her infant son. To this day, locals say the stones of Rozafa Castle are still wet with her tears. Over time, the practice evolved. Instead of actual human sacrifice, people began using substitutes. An empty coffin buried beneath a home, a rope measured to a person's height, eggs, candles, wine bottles, coins, symbolic offerings to appease whatever spirits might threaten a building's stability. This isn't just history. This is a dark reflection of human beliefs, of our desperate attempts to control the unknown to ensure survival by the most extreme means possible. If you found this journey through human history both horrifying and fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other dark historical practices you would like to explore. Thanks for watching, and as always, I hope something good happens to you today. Peace.